Hi, I'm Steve Hale, and I organise the actual exhibition side of the trees, i.e. the exhibitors' displays. I don't deal with the trade side of it, purely the display. We came about doing this simply because I had a wish to push the art of display in this country. There's always been a forum for discussion about it, but that principle has stayed with me all the time. We've always had things like Chelsea Flower Show where people could display their bonsai, but those were actually displays of bonsai, very high quality. What we wanted to do with this show was create bonsai displays and push the art of bonsai display, and there is a difference between the two. I was given the opportunity to do it through Mark and Ming Moreland, who asked me what I thought, would it work, etc, etc, and this has now been the 4th year. We had a break for COVID, but what this year has proved is that people enjoy what we do, they approve of what we do. Our visitors numbers are way up this year. We've had almost 900 paying visitors, which is over 1,000 people in the room. What I'm really pleased with is the fact that the actual displays have got better and better each year, and that tells me that what we're providing is working for people. They're learning, they're asking the right questions. Each year those same people with different exhibits are improving what they're doing, and that's important because it's all been worthwhile.
distant tangle of feet that brought my heart to you.
My name's Andy Pearson and I make pots for bonsai trees under the banner of Stone Monkey Ceramics. I've been making pots for about coming up for 21 years next year, and it's something that I'm really passionate about. Pots that are made in Europe and the West are coming on leaps and bounds, and I think in the UK we've got a really good group of bonsai pot artisans, to be honest with you. I just had a go at making my own pots and slowly learned over the sort of 21-year period the pitfalls, the good points, the downside, how to work with clay, what you can do with clay at a certain time, and get that ideal image that a bonsai pot needs to complement the tree that goes into it.
Bonsai Expo is the premier bonsai exhibition in the UK, and Steve and Mark have asked me to bring along a selection of bonsai pots to do a pot display to show people the high quality of bonsai pots in Europe that are being produced at the moment and over the last 30 years. Generally speaking, we didn't have pot displays in Europe until about 6-7 years ago, when I started doing them in England and at the Trophy in Belgium and some of the other major exhibitions around Europe. It's something that's been done in Japan for a long time, but now people in Europe are really starting to appreciate how important bonsai pots are in their own right, as well as matching a tree, and a lot more people are buying good quality bonsai pots now rather than just cheap rubbish for their really good tree. People are starting to learn and appreciate the bonsai pots a lot more now, both the Japanese and the European pots, especially when we get in the British pots. In Europe they're really popular and they absolutely fly out, and they're very highly regarded throughout Europe and throughout the world. But it's perfectly clear when you're looking around the tree exhibitions, the quality of pots that people have used for their trees is increasing every year, and the standard is absolutely incredible. There's some fantastic trees with some really good quality pots on display today, which is really good to see. Over the last 5-6 years since I've been doing this, I've really strongly noticed that year on year a lot more people are getting into quality bonsai pots and are seeing and appreciating the value in the pot as well as just the tree, and seeing how important it is to match the right pot with your tree rather than just popping it in any old cheap pot, which was the case not too long ago. So it's very encouraging and very exciting to see.
I've travelled over today from Northern Ireland to see the expo. I think it's important that people see it displayed properly, the high level, and that the public get an opportunity to see that. For myself, coming from Ireland, it allows me to see what other people are doing, getting new ideas, and trying to sort of bring that back into my own trees. Personally, I like to get around as many different countries as possible to see what other people are doing. Getting over to the UK here is probably the easiest step for me, but even the likes of Belgium, Italy, Australia, America, looking at all the different cultures and how they approach bonsai is important. So even here, people from throughout the UK exhibiting here, you can see the difference in styles and approaches to how they design trees.
We've been keeping bonsai for probably more than 4 decades now. Like everybody else, we started in various clubs, then showing in club shows and learning how to display. After a lot of help from friends, we became more and more proficient. The standard has increased tremendously in the UK over the last couple of decades. So we go to Japan quite regularly and travel to look for inspiration and for knowledge. I suppose just to be inspired to learn how to display better. We've exhibited, I'm just thinking now, Rita, what, 3 times at Taikan 10 now?
Yeah.
And it was our 3rd time in Kokofu beginning of this year in February.
And No Landers originally, and now the trophy, of course, in Belgium. And lots of big shows around the UK and Europe. Our very first trip abroad was to Ginkgo in Belgium.
To Danny User's show, yeah.
Probably taught us a big lesson,
Yeah.
because we took a tree that then we thought was really good and realised we were way out of our depth.
Yeah. So the trees that we were seeing back then that were getting accepted into the best shows in Europe and the UK probably would struggle to get into some of the best shows now here.
Yeah, definitely.
When you go to Japan and you see what's available in Japan and how they display, that's a level above where we are. And we still have a lot to learn. We try to learn as much as we can about display in all its forms. It's not just about the tree. It has to be the right pot, a suitable quality pot, a table that's appropriate for the tree in the pot, how to position an accent and a scroll. There's so much to learn, and you never really stop learning because you're always striving to improve and do something better next time. Some of the trees we have here today, we've had for a decade or 2.
Yeah, easily.
A lot of effort. But that's what you have to do. It's dedication, applied technique consistently to a high standard. And then to come here, everything is about the detail. Attention to detail in everything you do. And that's absolutely paramount. So much to learn and a lot more to learn. Still learning.
I'm Peter Warren. Sorry, I'm a bonsai. And I was one of the judges today for the show. I'm a bonsai professional, operate out of London, all across the country. I've been very pleasantly surprised at the level of the trees. Being a judge, it was quite difficult to actually pick out, the sort of 6 best trees in each different category. What it shows, I think, is that the level of bonsai in the country is increasing. Having exhibitions like this is essential for that, because displaying bonsai is it's not the end point of bonsai, but it's a very important part of the process. It makes you think of bonsai as an art form rather than just trees on your bench outside. And there have been quite a few people who have exhibited for the first time who've said what a learning experience it was for them, sort of preparing the trees, mossing them up, choosing correct accent plants and things like that. And it's made them think about bonsai in different terms. And hopefully for visitors who don't exhibit themselves, they've been able to sort of take that away, start looking at bonsai differently, and perhaps think about exhibiting themselves in the future.
In terms of future shows, we will be holding the next show in a year's time, 14th of April. If you go to the UKBA website or even the Expo Bonsai UK website, next year's date will be on there. We look forward to seeing as many of you as can come. We also look forward to more of you possibly submitting trees to exhibit.
Thank you.